Every day, people wake up and prepare for the battles of life. They prepare for financial struggles, relationship struggles, career struggles, academic struggles, the endless challenges that come with being human. Because these battles are visible, they receive most of our attention. People talk about them, complain about them, analyze them, blame them. Yet beneath every visible struggle exists another battle, a hidden battle, a silent battle, a battle that determines the outcome of every other battle. Most people never see it. Most people never talk about it. Yet it influences almost every decision they make. It shapes their habits, their choices, their relationships, their future. This battle does not happen in the outside world. It happens within. The greatest battle in your life is not against another person. It is not against the economy. It is not against bad luck. It is not against circumstances. The greatest battle is the one taking place inside your own mind. Every single day, there is a version of you that wants more, a version that wants growth, a version that wants discipline, a version that wants purpose, a version that wants to become everything it was capable of becoming. But there is another version, a version that seeks comfort, a version that avoids discomfort, a version that fears change, a version that prefers the familiar even when the familiar is making it miserable. And every day these two versions compete for control. One pulls you forward, the other pulls you backward. One whispers possibility, the other whispers limitation. One wants growth, the other wants safety. This conflict exists in every human being. The student experiences it. The entrepreneur experiences it. The athlete experiences it. The artist experiences it. The parent experiences it. The millionaire experiences it. The person struggling to survive experiences it. No one escapes it, because this battle is woven into the human experience itself. Think about how often you know exactly what you should do. You know you should exercise, yet you do not. You know you should start the project, yet you delay. You know you should have the difficult conversation, yet you avoid it. You know what needs to be done, and yet something inside you resists. That resistance is not laziness. It is not weakness. It is the battle between immediate comfort and long-term growth, the battle between who you are and who you could become. Many people spend their entire lives believing their greatest obstacles exist outside of themselves. They blame circumstances. They blame timing. They blame opportunity. They blame other people. And while external obstacles certainly exist, there is a deeper truth. The obstacle that defeats most people is rarely outside them. It is inside them. Because two people can face the same challenge and produce completely different outcomes. One rises, one retreats, one grows, one remains the same. The difference is often not the challenge itself. The difference is how they respond internally. That response determines everything. History is filled with people who faced enormous obstacles and still succeeded. And it is filled with people who possessed every advantage imaginable and still failed. Why? Because circumstances do not determine destiny nearly as much as people think. Character does. Discipline does. Self-mastery does. The battle within does. The strongest prison is not always made of walls. Sometimes it is made of habits, beliefs, excuses, fears, comfort. And because these prisons are invisible, people often live inside them without realizing it. Years pass, decades pass, and they wonder why life never changed. The truth is that life cannot change until something changes within, because every external result begins with an internal decision. Every action begins with a thought. Every habit begins with a choice. Every transformation begins within. This is why the battle matters, because the battle within eventually becomes the life without. Win the battle within, and your external world begins to change. Lose the battle within, and no amount of opportunity can save you. The biggest battle is within, and whether you realize it or not, you are fighting it every single day. Inside every human being, there are two versions fighting for control. One version wants growth. The other wants comfort. One wants progress. The other wants convenience. One wants to become stronger. The other wants to stay safe. This battle is not something that happens once. It happens every day, sometimes every hour, sometimes every minute. The version seeking growth wants to become more than it is today. It wants to learn, to improve, to evolve, to step into unfamiliar territory, to pursue difficult goals, to embrace challenges. It understands that growth requires discomfort, that every meaningful transformation demands sacrifice, that becoming a better person is rarely easy. But there is another version, a version that sees discomfort as danger, a version that wants immediate relief, immediate pleasure, immediate certainty. This version does not care about your future. It cares about your comfort, right now. It wants the easy option, the familiar option, the option that requires the least effort. And that is why the battle exists. Every important decision in life is influenced by these two forces. When you want to start something new, the growth version says go for it. The comfort version says stay where you are. When you need to take responsibility, the growth version says face it. The comfort version says avoid it. When you need to make a difficult choice, the growth version says do what is right. The comfort version says do what feels easy. This conflict shapes your entire life, because your future is not determined by what you want. It is determined by what you repeatedly choose. Many people believe they are stuck because of their circumstances, but often they are stuck because they keep feeding the wrong version of themselves. Every time you choose comfort over growth, comfort becomes stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, growth becomes stronger. The mind adapts to whatever you repeatedly practice. This is why habits matter so much. Habits are not just actions. They are votes. Votes for the person you are becoming. Every habit reinforces an identity. Every repeated behavior teaches your mind something. If you repeatedly quit, your mind learns quitting. If you repeatedly avoid challenges, your mind learns avoidance. If you repeatedly choose growth, your mind learns resilience. The person you become tomorrow is being shaped by the choices you make today. This process is happening whether you notice it or not. Every decision matters, even the small ones, especially the small ones, because life is rarely changed by one massive decision. Life is usually changed by small decisions, repeated consistently over time. That is how character is built. That is how confidence is built. That is how discipline is built. And that is how potential becomes reality. The tragedy is that many people spend years waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel motivated, waiting to feel confident. But growth does not begin when you feel ready. Growth begins when you act despite not feeling ready. The strongest version of yourself is not created when conditions are perfect. It is created when conditions are difficult. When resistance appears, when excuses appear, when comfort calls your name, and you choose growth anyway. That is where transformation happens. Not in theory, not in intention, but in action, because at the end of the day, there are only two versions of you, the person you are becoming, and the person you are leaving behind. Every choice strengthens one of them. Every habit feeds one of them. Every day, one of them wins. The question is, which one are you feeding right now? Most people do not lose the inner battle in one dramatic moment. They lose it slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. Not through one terrible decision, but through hundreds of small compromises. That is what makes this battle so dangerous. The things that hold people back are rarely obvious. They do not arrive as giant obstacles. They arrive as tiny choices. Choices that seem harmless. Choices that seem insignificant. Choices that feel easy in the moment. One more day. One more excuse. One more delay. One more distraction. One more time. And because the cost is not immediate, people rarely notice the damage. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Months become years. And eventually, they wake up wondering where all the time went. Wondering why nothing changed. Wondering why they feel stuck. The answer is often hidden in the small decisions they ignored. Because every decision is moving you somewhere, forward or backward, closer to your potential, or further away from it. There is no standing still. Life is always moving, and you are always becoming someone. This is why comfort can be so dangerous. Comfort rarely looks like an enemy. It looks like a friend. It feels safe. It feels familiar. It feels pleasant. But comfort has a hidden cost. The cost is growth. The cost is possibility. The cost is the future you could have created. Many people spend years choosing comfort, not because they are weak, because comfort feels reasonable. Why take the risk? Why face the challenge? Why embrace uncertainty? Why struggle when you can stay where you are? The problem is that staying where you are comes with its own consequences. A life without growth eventually becomes a life filled with regret. Because deep down every human being wants to become more. They want to learn, to improve, to contribute, to evolve. And when they stop growing, something inside them begins to fade. That is why so many people feel restless. Not because life is unfair, because they know they are capable of more. Part of them knows they have been settling. Part of them knows they have been avoiding the battle. Part of them knows they have been choosing comfort over growth. And that truth becomes difficult to ignore. The strange thing about the inner battle is that nobody can fight it for you. No mentor can do it. No friend can do it. No book can do it. No motivational video can do it. People can inspire you, guide you, teach you, but eventually you must make the decision. You must choose who will lead your life, the version seeking growth, or the version seeking comfort. That choice belongs to you, and it belongs to you every single day, every morning, every habit, every action, every opportunity. The battle never disappears, but something changes when you become aware of it. You stop living unconsciously. You stop drifting through life. You stop blaming everything outside yourself, and you begin paying attention to the choices that shape your future. Because awareness changes everything. The moment you become aware of the battle, you begin to see it everywhere. You see it when you want to quit. You see it when you want to procrastinate. You see it when fear tries to stop you. You see it when comfort tries to seduce you. And once you see it, you have a choice. You can surrender, or you can fight. You can retreat, or you can grow. You can stay where you are, or you can move toward the person you were meant to become. That choice will determine far more than most people realize, because every great life is built one decision at a time, and every meaningful transformation begins the same way, by winning a battle that nobody else can see, the battle within. The moment you become aware of the battle within, everything changes. Not because life becomes easier, but because you finally understand what you are fighting. Most people spend years fighting the wrong battles. They fight other people. They fight circumstances. They fight situations they cannot control, all while ignoring the one battle that influences every part of their lives, the battle within, the battle between the person they are and the person they could become. Winning this battle does not require perfection. It requires awareness at the end of your life. Nobody will remember every obstacle you faced. Nobody will remember every excuse you made. Nobody will remember every fear that tried to stop you. But you will. You will remember the opportunities you embraced, the challenges you faced, the moments you chose courage over comfort, the moments you chose growth over safety, because those moments shape a life. Many people believe that the greatest victories happen in public. The promotion, the achievement, the recognition, the applause. But the greatest victories rarely happen where people can see them. They happen in silence. They happen when nobody is watching. When you choose discipline instead of distraction. When you choose responsibility instead of blame. When you choose growth instead of comfort. Those are the victories that change everything. Because every external victory begins with an internal one. Before you can conquer a goal, you must conquer hesitation. Before you can build success, you must build character. Before you can transform your life, you must transform yourself. This is the truth that many people spend years avoiding. Life changes when you change, not before. The strongest people are not those who control others. They are not those who dominate every room they enter. They are not those who appear powerful on the outside. The strongest people are those who have learned to master themselves. People who can act despite fear. People who can remain disciplined despite temptation. People who can continue despite difficulty. People who understand that true power begins within. Because if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot truly lead your life. The battle within never completely disappears. Even the strongest people face it. Even the most disciplined people face it. Even the wisest people face it. The difference is that they stop running from it. They stop pretending it does not exist. They face it directly, day after day, choice after choice. And slowly they become stronger, not because life becomes easier, but because they become better equipped to handle life. That is the reward of the inner battle. You do not become perfect. You become stronger. You become wiser. You become more intentional. You become more aware. And most importantly, you become the person you were capable of becoming all along. The person hidden beneath the fear, beneath the excuses, beneath the comfort, beneath the distractions. The person waiting to emerge. The person waiting for you to stop settling. Waiting for you to stop hiding. Waiting for you to stop looking outside yourself for answers. Because the answer was never outside. It was always within. The greatest battle is within, but so is the greatest victory. And every single day, whether you realize it or not, you are deciding who wins. You are deciding who you become. You are deciding what your future looks like. One choice at a time. One habit at a time. One day at a time. And that is why the biggest battle is within. Because the person who wins that battle wins their life.